What is going on, everybody? Just a quick announcement, kind of big announcement that I wanted to share with you guys. I want to go ahead and do the Hunter x Hunter manga reactions, like I had a lot of you guys suggest. I was just thinking about it and kind of missing it, and kind of having. Even though I've started Vinland Saga, I'm still doing My Hero, Full Metal, Demon Slayer. I'm kind of missing the next level discussions and kind of like the deeper kind of layers on top of layers on top of layers. So I don't know if I'll get that in the manga, but I know that that's a lot of what we had with Hunter x Hunter, and I want to definitely kind of keep that going. So I just wanted to make that quick announcement for you guys. Hopefully that's something you guys will be interested in. I'll definitely catch up with you guys in the comment section of this video. I'll talk to some of my Patreon members if that's something that I don't know how many chapters there are. Like, I've never read a manga in my life, so I'm gonna talk to my Patreon members. Some other of you, feel free to contact me on Twitter in the comment section. I don't know where you go to read manga chapters, how you even obtain them, or what to really do with that. But again, I don't know how many chapters there are, how quick it will kind of go through them. If we should live react to all of them on Twitch or just kind of upload them as we go. We'll hash out all the details and we'll do that, but I just wanted to go ahead and share that with you guys. And yeah, it should be a fun time. So just wanted to get that announcement out. Enjoyed the podcast episode coming up. We've got my favorite and my guest top 10 Naruto characters. Bear with me at the podcast, just like my videos, how I started on YouTube. The quality that my videos are now is nowhere near the quality of how bad it was when I started as far as audio visuals. I'm having to use like third-party kind of video chat services, so give me a couple of the podcast episodes to get used to kind of dealing with trying to sync up somebody else's audio, make it sound as good as mine might be in the visuals and kind of all that kind of stuff. As we keep going, it'll get better, but I hope you guys enjoy it. I want to try to do starting podcast at least once a month, and then if we can pick it up and kind of make it a, good, like, full steam ahead thing, maybe once a week. I'd like to get just a bunch of different guests from other reactors to other YouTubers that I know that aren't primarily anime, but I know they really, really enjoy anime. Just kind of want to get all that going, so share that announcement with you guys. Gonna go ahead and do Hunter x Hunter manga chapter reactions. And yeah, enjoy the podcast. Started. So we're here, podcast episode 1. This is Ramona. Been friends with her on Facebook. She's really deep on the anime game. I wanted to have somebody on other than me for it, so we're just gonna go back and forth with Naruto. She watches tons of animes, and we're gonna go for. Did you give a definitive top 10, or are you just gonna list 10?
I have a definitive top
All right.
10. Honorable mentions, but I have a
yeah.
for
I have
sure.
some honorable mentions, and then I'll have like a bonus question at the end, and we'll see how this goes. I'm recording this through Skype. For some reason, I had trouble with it, so hopefully the audio and visual won't be bad. But I addressed that before. We'll kind of see how that goes as we go. I have no idea what her top 10 are. She has no idea what my top 10 are. I'm sure, maybe, I mean, we might not. We might not have any overlaps at all. I'm sure there's probably going to at least be one or two, but we'll kind of see how it goes. I'll let you just start it off.
Okay.
We'll start at we'll go from 10 up to 1. Yeah,
okay.
so
Okay.
yeah. We'll start, so all the possible Naruto characters, who do you have
my
coming
order
in?
sounds bad, but okay. The bottom, I kind of like them all about the same.
Yeah, that's what I feel like
They're
too.
just
I feel
kind of
like
general. The top, I'm like, for sure, that's my order.
Through about, I'd say 6 through 10. Shuffle them up however you want, and they're going to be.
That's kind of, I like them all kind of the same, but they're just, they're after the top 5.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're going to name 10 through, and we'll give like a quick little like why. We don't need a whole like backstory or have to give any kind of like achievements. It doesn't even have to be strength based, like just whatever your 10 are.
Am I going to list mine, and then you're going to list yours, or are we going to do 1 and 1?
10. We'll go 1 and 1. We'll go back and forth.
Okay, all right. My 10 to start with, Tsunade.
Okay.
And I have to put her in there, mainly because I feel like she's a badass.
She is. I'd say
she's like a mother figure to everybody.
I say
you
as far
know?
as, I mean, is she arguably best female character, or I
Hmm.
guess it's also person
Well,
dependent too.
I have
I
a
know, yeah, I already know.
controversial
I have
opinion
like,
that's
yeah, I already
biased,
know personal bias,
but
like opinion. Yeah,
it's because of Tsunade. So I would have to say, like, without Tsunade,
yeah,
almost all of the female characters would be nothing, in my opinion.
yeah,
Like,
oh, yeah, yeah. Agreed for sure. Yeah, she definitely like
set the bar.
when she was introduced into the story, definitely like elevated the females. I mean,
Yeah, it was more like she's
none of
stronger
the
than a
females
lot of
really
people.
got like any shine, like post Tsunade. But all right, so you have Tsunade at 10. I have Maru at 10.
Oh, okay.
And again, like this is like we were talking
Okay.
about this like before we started. I don't know if that's because like that whole like original Naruto was cycled on like Toonami and just things like so many times,
Yeah.
like those specific arcs. But I thought like Kimimaro was that dude, and unfortunately, he was another like written off with illness for the purpose of
I
the
feel like he had
series.
such potential, but they were like,
So much potential,
we
but I
got
mean,
other bad bitches to bring in.
there's no way you like leave him in the story and like some of the characters stayed alive that stayed alive.
Yeah.
He
Because
100% kills Gaara there
he,
and 100% kills Lee. He probably
yeah,
goes after he
he
probably
had
hit
like some
him.
strong plot armor, and they just like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They just pretty
smashed
much
it.
removed him. But I mean, as far as like just ability, I don't think we had any ability even remotely close to that in the entire show that I can
Yeah, they didn't
remember.
repeat it, which was nice
Yeah,
because
and I don't
that's
even
annoying.
remember much any like body kind of manipulation kind of throughout the rest of the story. As far as anything that wasn't like curse mark related, I
Mm.
don't know like
Okay.
anything like internally, but
Yeah,
he
like
was one of
the
my
whole
again.
bones
I don't know if
thing.
that's just nostalgic of him, like being in
Yeah.
that middle school age range, and like him being like that
Yeah.
dude at the time. But yeah, he definitely came in. And again, like I said, I mean, if they didn't kind of write him off sickness wise, I'm sure he 100% kills Lee and Gaara, 100%.
He would have been a very strong like
And he
villain
skips
to
over. I mean,
go throughout.
he's not gonna kill Naruto because that's the main. But he
Yeah.
skips over there while the two of them are fighting and probably wipes that up within 2 seconds. And then yeah, then it's like where do you put him in the story kind of after that?
And like how
Um,
would Sasuke still be
yeah, yeah,
relevant to
yeah. Because
Orochimaru when he has
I
Kimmy?
feel like yeah, exactly. Yeah, would the story even go the direction it's supposed to go? But then it's like there would have been another obstacle between like Team Seven trying to get to Sasuke. There would have been
Yeah.
like Kimimaro in the way. So unfortunately, he had to be killed. But it just is what
That's
it
true.
is.
That's
All right, who do you have at number 9?
I hate to put him towards the bottom, but there
He
are other
made
people I
yeah,
had to put above,
yeah.
but Killer Bee.
Okay, I respect
I
that.
love him. I feel like
I don't know if it's spoilerish, but do you prefer him
I've seen
over his
every.
brother or?
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
okay.
I
Okay.
prefer him over his brother because there isn't any other character like him in Naruto.
That's
He
true.
is his own individual. You know,
Yeah.
there are a lot of like badass brute types in
Yeah, yeah.
Naruto, but like there's not another Killer Bee,
And
and he's just really that big.
have you done subbed and dubbed? Like have you heard both versions?
Yes,
What do
because
you think of
not all
his
of Shippuden is dubbed.
Yeah, what do you think of
I like
his
them both.
English? Do you
I
really?
I'm
See, I
controversial.
can't
I
stand
love dub
his
because I grew up on the dub. For me,
Yeah.
Naruto in English
That's true. I
and
will agree. I will agree.
Japanese, they sound super similar. The actors have
I
a
watched
similar
the
tone in their voice.
I watched the original like pre-Shippuden all English.
Yeah,
And then by that time
yeah.
it had switched over to dubbed.
Mhm.
So once pretty much Shippuden started, I never like went back and watched dub, but I have seen clips because I'll go back and watch it.
Ah,
And Killer Bee's voice, like
his
really
dub
rough.
voice.
It's rough.
You don't like it?
I feel like
I think
well,
it's
'cause we
funny.
already know like how the raps are written, and it's
Yes,
corny but like funny. But
yes.
in the Japanese, like it really like hits. Like I can like get down. Like
Oh,
I
it's
don't know.
more of a bop
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It flows better.
instead of like a.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I respect that. All
Well,
right.
I feel like for some dub, when a character is supposed to be a certain way,
Yeah.
and the dub actor does like a, I don't know how to describe it, like a certain voice, like Tsukiyama in Tokyo Ghoul, the
Yeah,
English for him, I love him. And
yeah,
he does a lot of very specific characters.
yeah.
So I'm like, I feel
Yeah.
like the voice actor for Killer Bee is
I
one
just
of
feel
those
like it's
people
hard.
where
I guess
he
it's
made it
always,
funny.
yeah, I guess it's always like that. It's hard to, because the dubbed was like the subbed was first, so
First.
the English,
Oh
all
yeah.
in any anime, the English voice
Yeah.
actors have to come with like the same style. You
Yeah.
can't really deviate from
The
kind of,
character.
yeah, because
Yeah.
it's already been written a certain way. If he, yeah, so yeah, so you just like him just because like his
Well, I feel
uniqueness,
like
or
his uniqueness and also the lessons that he teaches Naruto, it's
yeah,
not the stereotypical like life lessons type of thing.
yeah,
It's his own way, and I feel like Naruto's similar in that goofy,
yeah.
nonsensical way where they're very similar characters, and that's why they understand
Yeah.
each other so well.
I feel like Killer Bee was
And
characters that
I really
got
like
kind
the
of,
Jinchuriki, so I'm like,
yeah.
that's
Speaking of that, I feel like he was one of the characters that really got kind of like written off because he should be so much stronger than he is, and he
he
was
was
introduced like
so
that.
strong in a lot of episodes, and then like,
He came out. He was introduced off the bat like that, like smacking Sasuke, smacking the
yes,
whole group that he
oh,
came up in
like
there
that
with.
that scene, I was like,
Yeah,
somebody
and
needs to
then
give
kind of
him a
as
little.
we went, as we got more of him. I mean, of course they pivoted to like Naruto and stuff, but like all of a sudden, all this Jinchuriki stuff he could do was just like not. I
Yes,
don't know. He would like easily get captured and easily get put in genjutsus and
on
easily do
purpose,
this.
bro.
Yeah, just like they when he was on the scene, it was like, oh shit, and then
Yeah,
yeah, they just kind of written him off to the side.
yeah. And I
All
feel
right.
like because he was similar to Naruto, it made Naruto easier to relate to like Kurama.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, like it they were
That was
similar. It's like, oh, I want that relationship with
yeah.
my
Number 9, I have Onoki at 9.
why?
First of all, I think he has. I don't even know if it's up for debate. Maybe the most OP ability in the entire show, or one of the top 3 OP abilities in the show. I mean, I don't know anything that's really competing with particle style at all. I don't know if you can. I don't think you can stop particle style at all, minus
Uh,
teleporting into your own pocket dimension or whatever.
yeah,
Um, the man can fly.
that's
I mean, I
he's
think
like his own
he's
thing.
like his own thing going on, and just seeing his kind of like character transformation, like when we first got introduced to him, how he was just like that old stuck up dude, and then kind of like as we
Yeah,
went, and really like putting himself on the line, and then just kind of everything he lived through, like being young and seeing the flashbacks with him and Madara in the beginning,
yeah.
just knowing like how old he is. Um,
Like on a Tsunade level, like
yeah, like yeah, like way, like I think, I mean, I'm trying to think of all the 5 Kage that were included. I feel like he's got to be probably the strongest of
I
those
think
5 for sure.
yeah. I think he's also the oldest.
Oh, 100%. I think he's the
You know, like
oldest.
I don't think
I think he's the
yeah.
oldest. I mean, who knows what they've introduced in Boruto? I had to drop it honestly after a while, so I don't know if anybody's been introduced that's been older. But I think at the time he's probably got to be the oldest shinobi alive, like at the time.
Probably.
And just like the
Because I
battle
was like,
experience and seeing him turn away, and when I saw him like stopping boulders coming out of the sky and all
yeah,
his just particle style, and he's flying, I just thought, and but really the back, because there was no connection between like Madara and any of the shinobi at
yeah,
all, but them having that kind of like little
yeah,
slight connection, that really like kind of raised the bar there for
yeah.
sure.
I was just about to say, I was like, he was really the only one that kind of like made a dent out
Yeah,
of the
yeah, yeah,
Kage
yeah,
during
yeah,
that
for
fight.
sure, for
He
sure.
made the dent while the rest of them kind of got smacked around, which just
Yeah,
like it. They got smacked around because they're just trying to show Madara's like power level. But you
yeah.
watch all 700 episodes, you're like,
Oh, and then I mean, 100%.
what?
I mean, they did it for story purposes, but Madara kills them like probably 100 times over. I mean, they're not going to kill all of them, but that's another discussion for another day.
They couldn't do that. They already took too many
Yeah,
people away. Too
yeah,
many traumatic. Like that one opening when the Asuma died. Like I can't listen to the opening
yeah,
without just being like,
yeah, yeah. It's rough. I
911.
mean, I feel like we should have had more deaths. But that was never really the tone of like
Who?
Naruto.
Tell me who.
I'm gonna have that like at the end, so we'll hit that when we get there.
Okay.
All right, what do you
Okay.
have for number 8?
You know what? Let me see. I'm gonna switch.
Yeah,
Two
I mean
people
you
on the
gotta make
list.
switches on the fly. We
Like I'm
can.
gonna just put him. I'm gonna say Gaara.
Oh wow. Okay.
Originally, I was gonna say Jiraiya, but I was like, I would rather have Jiraiya
Yeah.
higher,
Okay.
just because I was like, now that I'm looking at the order, I would say Gaara because he had such a tragic backstory.
Yeah.
Like, okay, in my honest opinion, he is the Snoop Dogg of anime.
Yeah.
Okay, he was a killer, like a whole ass
Yeah.
gangster,
He did
and
have a
now
switch
he's
up.
beach
Yeah.
chilling. Now
He did
he
switch it
got
up for
kids.
sure, 100%.
He
Yeah, I
loves his
agree. I
friends.
feel like I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's people that hate Gaara, but I would find it hard. Like if you polled a lot of anime
Yeah,
people, Gaara's got to be in people's top 10. I feel like
he's
always.
got it because
Yeah,
he's just such like I don't know, a loving character.
I feel like
Like
they hit you with both. Like when you first got introduced to Gaara, you hated him like so
yes,
much.
because you're like, oh my
And then
god, he really just snapped a bitch, and you're like,
yeah, you really hated him,
at
and then
8 years old, like,
they switched you up, and then you ended up literally go from hating him to he dies literally.
yeah,
I don't know,
post
50
traumatic,
episodes later, and yeah, all right,
yeah.
I respect it.
And then Naruto does his whole thing. I was like,
Yeah,
that's my
that's
boy
pretty good.
right there.
Now I'm trying to
Who's
think. Do I
your?
need? I have
You're like,
Orochimaru
do I
at
need to
8.
move?
Yeah, I have
You have who?
Orochimaru at 8.
Okay, I love Orochimaru, but I was trying to keep villains out.
Yeah, yeah. I have.
I really do
I
love
got villains
him.
all. I mean, Orochi.
I can tell.
I don't know how. I mean, I feel like
He's
there's.
such
You
a
don't even need to.
diverse
I feel like you don't
character.
need to even explain like why
No,
you have Orochimaru. I mean, he's from the beginning of the story all the way to the end. It is unfortunate. I mean, that I guess the story was always going that direction. How there's no kind of like resolve with Orochimaru. Like there wasn't really like an ending to it.
I feel like it's because he wasn't truly evil. He was just like chaotic neutral.
Yeah, he
So it's
wasn't
like
evil, but it was just
no
so
matter
it was
what,
just
he's
so
just kind of
weird.
crazy.
Like he was the villain like in the beginning,
Yeah.
and he was
So
for a long time, and then he
yeah,
doesn't get killed off screen, but I
he
mean he
just be
basically
chilling on minding his business.
he gets killed in his bed. I mean we think he gets killed. You know he's down in his cellar, just gets killed in his bed, and then he spawns back up, and
Yeah.
Itachi puts him down in 2 seconds, and then like that's kind of all you get of like big bad Orochimaru taking over like
That's
literally the
true.
reason Naruto and Sakura and everyone's going to chase this man Sasuke is because he's been taken away and
Yeah.
they don't get to confront him. Sasuke kind of kills him in his sleep
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden halfway through the middle of the war arc he's just pulled back out and brought to life. I mean I guess
He's
they
on
can't.
their side.
Yeah, and then he's on
He's
their side
like,
and he's
I guess
helping.
I
I
help
mean,
you guys for
yeah,
no
he's on
reason.
their side
I
and he's
just
helping. But I mean, the immortality, all of the jutsus that he possesses and has, everything he did story wise was great.
all of his background with
Yeah,
Jiraiya and Tsunade, I feel like you could just see that he just was so like
yeah,
something was wrong with him.
yeah,
But he
yeah,
wasn't evil.
yeah,
He was
yeah,
just kind of like,
yeah.
but like, what if we
I mean,
did
I
kill
enjoyed
them?
Orochimaru a lot. I mean, he wasn't the greatest in the things he did. I think it's
No.
unfortunate the way his ending kind of. He's one of those
Mm.
people that like he got written out that was so strong that like wasn't killed off due to like some
Mm.
random illness or sickness. He was just like kind of written out.
Yeah.
But
But they
yeah,
made it obvious that no matter what, he couldn't top Sasuke or Itachi. So I feel
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
he was so strong
But I feel like
that he would not pass
I
them.
wanted to see him get to that point. He's
I
supposed to
feel
like
like he's
know all these jutsus
yeah,
and achieve all these things, but like he can never
yeah,
get past like these. I don't know.
mental thing.
I wanted to see
Because
if
I
there
would
was
say it's more
anything
of a
he could.
mental for him. Like he's strong, but he's
Yeah,
like
because if he ever,
too
because we saw,
obsessive.
I feel like we saw Kabuto reach like the peak of what Orochimaru could have
Yeah.
been.
I feel like
Uh,
Orochimaru could have done better.
yeah. I feel like if Orochimaru got to that like perfect sage point, could he have? I don't
Mhm.
know. Could he have taken on a Sasuke by? I mean, pre Super Saiyan Sasuke and Naruto at the end. Nobody's taking them out at the end. But before
Mhm.
Sasuke gets all his, I'd say when Kabuto fought Sasuke with Itachi at the same time, if that had
Mhm.
been Orochimaru flipped instead of
It would have
Kabuto,
been longer.
it would have been longer.
It
And
would have
then,
been
of
a
course,
longer
I don't know
battle.
anybody that's really taken on the two of them by themselves anyway. But could he have taken on a Sasuke one-on-one at that point? I feel like probably.
You think so? But you got to think
That
about his
version of
mental
Sasuke,
state.
I think he
Yeah,
could.
but you got to think about his mental state.
Yeah.
Orochimaru was so obsessed with achieving a certain,
Yeah.
idea that I feel like that was always his downside.
Yeah.
Like no matter what, he was not gonna
And just
overlook it or let it go.
unfortunately we're never gonna know. We're just
But
never
you
gonna.
know what? Have you seen Boruto?
I've watched the first like 120 episodes and I dropped it.
That is a lot to watch.
I
I
was
stopped at
invested.
50.
I was invested to really see it, and we see Orochimaru in that, a
I
lot
love
with.
him in Boruto because he's
Yeah,
so
yeah,
funny.
yeah. But I
It's
always
so
feel like
funny to see him as a housewife.
at any second he could switch up and like turn dark,
Oh
but
yeah,
they're not gonna. Yeah,
he's too neutral. He's
yeah,
like, but I could also just keep
yeah,
watching you guys and take
yeah,
notes and use it against you, maybe.
yeah.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like he's also kind of over it. Like he had his own resolve. We just don't know about it because
Yeah,
he
yeah, yeah.
was
I feel
like,
like, and we saw him have those moments kind of off screen where he was bringing back the Kage for Sasuke and him kind of having those into, and we saw it when he went and pretty much put Tsunade's halves back together and healed her, and they kind of had their kind of moment. Um, so even though he didn't outright say it like I'm changed, I mean, it's kind
it
of
was
been
like his actions, and they were
yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah. We kind of saw it, and yeah, I'm not expecting him to go back. All right, well, who do you have at 7?
for 7. Yeah, it's gonna have to be like that. Itachi.
Oh wow.
I love
Okay.
Itachi.
Yeah.
Well, he ain't gotta die. A
Yeah.
lot of things did not have to happen,
Yeah.
but he did that.
Yeah.
Like he did that all for Sasuke.
I don't know
The
anybody
clan,
that
the
I don't know any.
village.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, like we said with Gaara, if not Gaara, I don't know anybody that wouldn't have Itachi in the top 10 for
Yeah.
sure.
And another thing, it was like he really sacrificed himself, I feel like to the highest degree
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
for the village, for his brother's
I'm trying to think
safety.
if I mean,
I
besides
can't
like
think of anyone that
Minato,
did that.
did anybody have a bigger kind of sacrifice?
I
I put Minato and
I was
Nagato
thinking
maybe
them
in there,
too.
but like,
But you can't put Minato in without Kushina. Like they sacrificed
yeah, yeah,
themselves
yeah. They
for
sacrificed
Naruto.
themselves and they did it for
And
and
Minato
like
is like one of the strongest people, and we don't know anything about his clan. Nothing.
yeah, I'm pretty
No
sure. I
talk of
mean,
it.
the
Just the
destruction
Uzumaki.
level, but I'm pretty sure they figure out a way to like contain Kurama, seal him away again, even without them. Maybe it wouldn't have been as quick. The destruction might have been worse, but I still feel like.
Yeah.
But if Itachi doesn't do what he did, I don't know what the state of the story. I mean, we don't even need to think of story because it didn't happen. But like, what would have been the
Yeah.
repercussions had he not done that? So
I feel like they would have been wiped out regardless, but
yeah,
maybe Sasuke's safety wouldn't have been guaranteed. And
yeah.
that's all
And
he
then it's
really
like,
cared
but then it's
about.
like, what does that like do for the rest of the village as far as like how many ninja shinobi do the Uchihas take out in that time, and then other villages hear about that, and then they attack, and it just sounds that sounds like it just could have been a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he did what he had to do,
Yeah.
and he came back from the dead and taught many life lessons.
I feel like he saved. I mean, if he doesn't make Kabuto undo that shit, I mean, that's going on forever, damn near.
And literally nobody can, well, in my honest opinion, I don't think anybody can beat Itachi, but he has the side effects of,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But again, that's another thing
the
with like
Sharingan, which is kind of
That's
like,
another thing with like Kimimaru is
yeah, the
if
illness
you
part. So
don't
they're like,
right
okay,
away, yeah. But that the whole like stamina with the Sharingan thing is I don't know because I mean we saw Kakashi in the first like 50 episodes. He uses that for like a day and he's got to go lay in bed for a week. But then Shippuden starts and he's just spamming it
using
like
it.
nobody's business.
Chilling.
He's perfectly fine. So again, but
Yeah, but it was deteriorating Itachi, like, and he just kept doing it. He was like, okay,
yeah,
it is what it is. I died.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, it happened.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
and then Sasuke gets all the benefits. So yeah,
All the benefits.
all the benefits the eyes grant, and none of the negative side
And
effects
none of
that
the,
Itachi.
yeah, I was like, none of the mental
None,
realization.
he didn't have to deal with any of the coughing up blood or the losing his vision that Itachi had to go through and all that kind of stuff.
True. But he only realized after
Yeah,
he
yeah,
killed
yeah,
him what his brother did for him. And then it was like, oh,
yeah, for sure.
that
Yeah,
was
after
it.
the fact. Yeah,
Who's yours?
I have Kabuto at 7.
I
Yeah.
cannot stand a. I wear
Again,
glasses, so I'm like,
yeah. Again, he was one of the rare few that actually.
but he
Again,
was ugly.
he stretched across the entire 700 episodes, which was great. One of the rare few I felt like that had an impact like throughout, and I feel like he just like him and Orochimaru. I feel like they're hand in hand. They just always had their hands in something like ready to
True,
go.
but Orochimaru was cool. Kabuto was like,
Kabuto was, but what
dang.
really like elevated Kabuto for me was the war arc. Really like took it to
Yeah.
another level. Seeing like this like the snake sage he was turning into, and like we were talking over text, the power Chikara arc was one of the best fillers, if
Yes.
not one of the best
Yes.
arcs. That included
And so
Kabuto.
many people don't know about it
They
because
don't, because a
it's
lot of
a
people watch
filler.
Naruto and they see the filler episodes and they skip it. So yeah,
Yeah, because
yeah.
it's a lot of episodes.
I feel like one of
And
the
when I
best.
was watching it, I was like, this is a little too good for it to just be like
Yeah, I
an
feel like
anime
it should
arc.
have been. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
It was supposed to be a movie, but they didn't. I don't
Yeah,
know where I read it, but they said that it just wasn't within the time frame that they were doing whatever,
yeah,
so they just put it in as a filler. And I'm like,
yeah. They should have.
so we
They
could have
should have
had it as
figured
a
out
movie?
some way to put it in for sure. But seeing Kabuto's like just take off when he was like perfect sage and had perfected the reanimation, and I mean, I
Yeah.
don't think we have the war arc without. I mean, maybe you could have done that with Orochimaru's character, flip him. It still would have happened, but I don't think the war arc happens without
I feel like it
Kabuto.
didn't fit the personalities to flip him though.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Had Orochimaru
So,
done it, like okay, but Orochimaru was never able to like perfect what he wanted to perfect.
and I feel like he wasn't like vested in that kind of thing, but
Yeah,
Kabuto
yeah.
was.
That's
Kabuto
what
was
I'm
like,
saying.
no,
Kabuto took
this.
it like we knew what Orochimaru was, but Kabuto took it to like the next level. Like Orochimaru never looked interested in killing. He just
No.
looked interested in kind of like figuring out like whatever it was that he needed to figure out. This Kabuto was just out there killing whatever, doing whatever.
So,
He was digging up people's graves and getting what he needed for the reanimation.
he was grave
And,
robbing
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure. And I feel like if you didn't watch that arc,
yeah,
you're not gonna know too much about
yeah,
the reanimation. I feel like it was kind of like foreshadowing to what was to
yeah,
come,
yeah, yeah,
because it was like when the reanimation happened, it was almost like we didn't have any type of trial and error. It just
yeah,
kind of worked.
yeah.
Oh no. Oh, sorry, Mike. Okay, there we go. Sorry, my iPad was not charging the entire time.
And then just
Um,
the impact that he had on the story. I mean, the war arc. Just seeing the amount, and then I mean, I guess I never expected the reanimation jutsu to be like on that grand of a scale. I mean, he's got
yeah,
hundreds of reanimations at a time,
yeah,
all at full strength, can control all their content. Like it was wild.
yeah. And we really saw like where it started. So it's like, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
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 they
yeah,
messed
yeah.
up
I mean, it
before.
was
It
there in
wasn't just like a jutsu.
episode.
They were like, it's ready.
It was there in the first like major arc, and then it
Yeah,
was pretty much the main thing at the end. So, and then seeing him bring back Madara and just like taking that to another
yeah.
level. Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, who do you have at number 6?
Since I switched them up, I'm like, I don't actually
Hmm.
remember. Okay, Jiraiya would be my number 6. That's where I
Okay.
flipped.
I respect it.
Because I feel like, in my honest opinion, Naruto got like 3 dads.
Yeah.
Hiruka, Jiraiya, obviously Minato, and then um I just said 3. That's a lot.
Yeah, those three. Those three.
That's a 3. I was like, there you go. But like, oh, I was gonna say Kakashi, but I'm like, nah, he's like the cool uncle.
Yeah.
He's like the cool uncle. Or like, no, yeah, the cool uncle. Because I
Yeah.
feel like Jiraiya, after how he guided like Minato and then really just like took in Naruto,
Yeah.
and there were a lot of people that knew Minato and did not do that for Naruto, and it stressed
Yeah.
me out. But Jiraiya was like, that's my boy.
Yeah, like
Here's your book. I wrote
Hiruzen,
this about you. Like,
I don't know what Hiruzen is doing. He's supposed to be looking over Naruto and looking over Sasuke like he promised
that boy
Itachi.
look homeless as hell.
And these kids are
No
just out
food,
here
no
living,
money.
yeah, they're out here living
He's
by
getting bullied.
themselves, no
He doesn't
friends,
have a
getting
nanny.
bullied. Exactly. Like Itachi trusted this to you and Minato, and then he just
Right,
leaving his
like,
kids or leaving by
what?
themselves, and yeah.
Naruto has to be around 10, right? During I
Yeah.
call it baby Naruto when I refer to
Yeah.
the first
They're in
one.
that,
I'm
yeah.
like, he really left like a 10-year-old to
Yeah.
fend for themselves? Like, he has no type of
He promised he was going to look after
adult
them and
guidance.
keep keep Sasuke safe and all that stuff,
And
and
Naruto bullied.
yeah, we saw how that ended up. Jiraiya's a fan favorite for sure. And I feel like as far as
He had so many kids. They were just like his
I feel
babies.
like he touched every, well, I mean, I wouldn't say every major character, but I mean, a lot of the plot points he really kind of touched on. Look from Minato to Naruto to Nagato,
Yeah.
big
Yeah. The
arcs in the
toes.
story. Yeah, were touched from that for sure. And I feel like he had probably, it's up for debate, probably the most emotional death or impactful death of the entire show. Definitely up there for
For
sure.
sure. I stopped watching it after Jiraiya died. Like, I had to take a break, like a
Yeah,
mental break, because I'm like,
yeah,
Asuma was already painful.
yeah. And they, I
And then
mean,
for
I'm actually,
Jiraiya to die, I was like,
and then they didn't end up bringing him back with any reanimation, which I feel like they
man.
should have. But I mean, I don't know if
But,
I read that he wasn't planning to do that because it just would have been too much or what.
well, another thing I saw, which I haven't properly looked into, is there was a character later on that kind of looked like Jiraiya, and they didn't bring him back to reanimate him because he wasn't actually dead. And I'm
Yes,
like,
yeah,
it's an
it's
interesting theory, but I've
yeah.
never actually like
And
fully
then you know that
into it.
Jiraiya's in Boruto.
Oh yeah.
How or
I
what the reasoning? If it's just like a chakra ghost, or if he's actually, I don't know. I just
That's
know
what
that
I'm
he
saying.
is in.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's like connecting through Kurama to Boruto, or if he's been I don't know what it is, but I know he was in it for a while.
mm.
In what capacity though, I have no idea.
Because I know they did a flashback, not a flashback, a time travel. That's what I was trying to think of.
Mm,
A time travel. I didn't. I just. Boruto's a whole other topic.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's another discussion for another day for
No.
sure.
I'm like, I could try to watch it because I did attempt it, but like watching it just really made me mad because I'm like, we did not go through 700 something episodes, what,
Yeah,
13, 14 movies, and this is how Naruto
yeah, it was
suddenly is going
a
to treat people
yeah.
that he
That could
loves.
put me
Like,
on
that's
a
not his character.
that'll put me on like a 2 hour tangent. That is
Yes,
just
let's let's sidebar it.
but at number
We'll
6,
minimize that one.
I have Hashirama at 6.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah, I mean he's great. You know, the first of everything. There's Hashirama DNA cells, wood style going throughout
Yeah.
the entire anime. And then what really like took it through that next level, which I guess I don't know what other options would have, was all the. I mean, I'm glad they did it. That was one of the flashbacks that were fine. The like childhood Hashirama and Madara flashback that he
Yeah.
had, and then
Yeah.
seeing how like OP he came, how he
Mhm.
became, just all that stuff was great. I would have wished that we would have gotten a proper rematch of the two
Yeah.
in the war arc, but
But
we
it wasn't
didn't.
about them.
Yeah,
About
it wasn't
Naruto.
about them for sure. But I feel like it was so foreshadowed, and like they showed us, but they didn't show us in the flashbacks. That I thought seeing two immortals go at it again would have been. But
The only people that got statues, they got
yeah,
statues.
I would have liked
The
to
most
see them like.
iconic fight scenes happen at their statue.
Yeah,
We're
I
not
would have
getting a
liked to
battle.
seen them go at it with like unlimited chakra and.
That'd be an
Um,
interesting OVA, I
yeah,
feel like.
that'd be good for sure. But yeah, Hashirama there for sure. All right, now we're getting into the top
That's it.
five here.
I like. Oh,
This
okay.
is this is this is going to be some really good decisions. We're talking like best of your best characters right here.
Okay. Next, Kakashi.
Okay, I feel like that's
It's
fine.
valid.
Yeah,
It's.
I feel like
I
that's a
feel
lot of people.
like one,
Yeah,
he fine as hell.
yeah,
The man too powerful, but also it's like it's in the sense of like how you're saying like Jiraiya really touched a lot of major
yeah.
characters. Kakashi really touched a lot of major characters. Went through a lot of trauma.
He
Like
did.
right off
He
the
did.
bat, his dad. After that, his best friend. Then
His other
his other friend. Because I'm like,
friend-ish.
I don't want to say that he liked Ren because
Yeah,
Obito liked Ren, but we don't know. I mean, he totally
yeah,
could have, but he
yeah,
was more like Obito's feelings above mine type of
yeah,
thing. And then Minato and Kushina.
yeah.
And
They did.
then
He could have had a.
filler
He could.
character number 38,000, the girl that he had a crush on for a little bit and then she left.
Yeah,
I don't know if you watched that one filler
I
where like he
did.
has like a little girlfriend. That filler's
Yeah,
really funny.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I feel like they did a good job
They
of
slapped
like
him
we
around.
got a lot of Kakashi flashbacks. I'm trying to think where at what point in the story did we get the whole Itachi and the Ambu going to save the people that can turn into smoke, going into people's bodies? Was that in the was that his flashback in the war? When was that?
I
I don't know when that was, but they did a decent
I
job of
don't
like
want to say
diving
it.
back into him
Yeah.
story wise.
The only thing they overdid, like, I can literally see Ren's death
Oh
and
yeah,
everything a million times over. And I'm
they
like,
hammer that. I mean, Naruto does that a lot of they'll flashback you within a flashback within another flashback.
and it'll be like that. The episode is really, truly only about 20 minutes.
Yeah,
That's the whole thing. That
episodes are
one
only like
episode is the whole
19
filler, and you're
minutes
like,
long, and yeah, and it's just flashback within a flashback within a
yeah.
flashback, and yeah, but yeah,
And if you were
Kakashi. I
watching
mean,
that real time on TV, you're like, this is the
yeah,
episode for the week?
yeah,
This whole flashback?
yeah,
No
it's
actual
rough.
plot going
I feel like
on?
there's not really anything to really kind of dislike about Kakashi, other than like it's not like he was a kid, and then we saw him later in Shippuden as an adult, and he kind of refined the Sharingan taking a toll on his body.
Yeah.
He was adult Kakashi in original Naruto, and that shit would put
Yeah.
him in a bed for like months, and then
Well, he wasn't. He was like in his 20s,
yeah,
which I think is so strange. Like when you think about it
yeah,
realistically,
yeah,
he was in his 20s, and it's. I think like if you try to do the math, he would be around our age, and for what he had accomplished at our
yeah,
age and been put through, it's like
yeah.
that's some.
I feel like they took a lot of. I mean, they did that with the Sharingan in general. Like Kakashi was copying people, and then I feel like
Yeah.
we didn't see that after
Yeah.
after the
Yeah.
Zabuza stuff.
Yeah.
I don't
It was the
remember.
big like copy ninja,
He's
and
like,
then
oh
like
my god, he copies. He knows endless jutsus, and then we got in Shippuden, and he was just spamming Kamui the whole time. He know he wasn't copying
yeah.
shit. But yeah, that's just again, that's not like on the character. That's just on the story, and
Yeah. That's true. Who's yours?
I have Madara at 5.
Okay.
Yeah, just
So
overall.
mine is the hero list, and yours is the
Yeah, I guess
villain
I
list.
kind of see that as kind of as we're going here. Yeah. Um.
Why? Because he's
Again,
OP.
just the lore. I feel like that was
Yeah.
one of the characters that was introduced with lore, and
He's
then
so sensitive.
when we finally saw said character, I feel like he over exceeded expectations.
My favorite gif that like the most common one you'll see is like right when he's going into the war.
Yeah.
And like he does like the eye thing where it just
Yeah, he's
looks really
tracking.
unrealistic
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he does
yeah.
it so
Yeah.
fast. I'm like, okay, King, go off. But
I
don't kill
don't
everybody, please. Like you're
I
supposed
don't
to go down.
think a single character had more of a just like WTF introduction moment than Madara had.
Yeah.
Because we heard about him, and he was like on par with
Mhm.
Hashirama and did all these things.
Yeah. The level of manipulation he went
Yeah, he
through,
could
the amount of
manipulate.
decades he
Yeah,
survived.
survived all this, was manipulating
Slowly and
Jinchuriki and doing all
slowly,
this
like
stuff.
his patience, it's there. He
And
was
then
like, "Oh no, no, it's gonna happen one day."
he hits the scene and just stomps.
Ah,
Takes out hundreds by himself. Again, I feel like even though he was reanimated and had endless, he's doing that without needing to be reanimated.
Yeah, but
He's
a lot of the
smacking.
characters that he takes out, I feel
Yeah,
like
that
they're
didn't
just
have anything to do with
standby. So it's
like.
hard in the
Yeah,
beginning
yeah,
to see him just take out just the standbys, and you're like,
yeah,
these
yeah.
ninjas weren't
Yeah.
anything.
And he's taking
Low
out
key,
Gaara, taking out Onoki, all taking out Naruto all
yeah,
at once. Naruto's running from said fight. I don't think we ever saw Naruto
yeah.
do that.
Well,
Meteor's
I feel
coming
like
down.
they
Gaara
had
and
to do it.
Onoki are fighting for their lives,
Yeah,
and Naruto's just dipping, even though he's a
yeah,
clone.
yeah.
Um,
But we got to see him struggle
yeah, yeah,
for
yeah,
us to be like, oh, he's realistic. Because if Naruto just goes into everything like,
yeah,
I'm a win, I'm a
yeah,
win,
yeah,
we're not gonna be like, oh, relatable.
yeah. And then
He has to
seeing
do the Talk no
him,
Jutsu first.
yeah, he would have tried. I feel like that would have been that was only the good part that he couldn't use it on Madara because there was no
He's
prior
sensitive.
connection that they had.
Yeah.
He couldn't talk him back to be like, oh, remember when we used to do this or your family?
Yeah.
There was nothing. They had nothing
Yeah.
related
But even
at all.
then, I feel like with how sensitive Matter is, like,
Yeah,
he is one of the most. I can't say he's like empathetic, like one of the most
yeah.
empathetic, because like Naruto is probably the most empathetic character. If
Oh,
someone's
yeah,
sad, he's like, me too, bro. We
yeah,
sad together.
yeah,
But like, Matter really just, when someone slights him, he's like, oh,
yeah, yeah.
it's like that.
It does. Those Uchiha emotions taking over.
Yeah.
All right, who do you? All right, we're getting up there. Top four. Who do you have?
I have Sasuke as my
Okay, that's fine.
because the other three to me make sense. Like I love Sasuke.
Trying to figure
I
out who your
love the
top
development that he went through.
three. I have. Wait, I'm trying to look at your list. I feel like my might know two of them. I don't know one of the three. I have no idea what your one of your top three are going to be. But yeah, go ahead with yeah, Sasuke.
Sasuke, well, one, like as an artist, Kishimoto really created a character that inspired so
Oh
many
yeah, he
other
definitely
characters.
got the best
So
of
many
everything.
characters are like, oh, that looks like Sasuke. That looks like Sasuke. This was inspired by
Oh
Sasuke. That
yeah,
looks
yeah,
like Sasuke. You know, it's just like he really did that.
yeah,
He did that. And I'm like, if the trauma hadn't happened, Sasuke would have been super chill. He would have
yeah,
been great. He would
yeah,
not have been this angsty, killer, manipulative,
yeah,
mentally abusive boy that we all know and
yeah,
love. I feel like, and the fact that it does take him so many times to learn a lesson or to see the truth. It's
yeah,
really realistic for a lot of people. You don't just automatically learn your lesson.
yeah.
Like Sasuke had to get his shit
And he
hit
said, I mean,
so
the
many
man said
times for him to see it.
he
And then
had
when he
something.
saw it, it like destroyed him.
I
You
mean, he
know?
said he had a goal that he was going to accomplish, and I
Yeah.
mean, he granted he didn't accomplish said goal,
No.
but he did. I don't know how you want to. That's
When he
again, that's
said, I'm
diving
gonna be
into
the Hokage, I was like,
yeah.
oh my
Whether it
god,
was whether he
sit down.
really at the state that he fought Itachi, could he have been a healthy Itachi? Probably not. Um,
No,
so he
no.
wouldn't have
I feel like,
accomplished that goal. I
yeah.
don't think he beats Itachi up until the point where
Itachi lets
again,
him win 100%.
I
Because
don't think
Itachi loves him so much, you
I
know?
think the only time he overturns Itachi is probably after him and Naruto get their little god power up there at the end.
True. Yeah.
So
Because Itachi hadn't achieved.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's like the
But
Sharingan,
yeah,
knocked him down a peg before he could actually get to that
yeah.
point.
And I'd
If
say as far
he
yeah,
did, he'd be good, I think.
yeah, yeah. Sasuke's
They
great.
could have been an even battle.
They gave a lot of like dope abilities and visuals to
Yeah.
Sasuke for sure. From his
Yeah.
Susanoo to his snake summonings to the outfits and
Mm-hmm. The
sword, all the
bits,
sword play he had, and
the
him getting the
sassy remarks.
cooking. Yeah, all the designs. He gets all the visual designs, and it was just great for sure.
Yeah.
I have Gaara at my fourth spot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
so you
I
had
could
Gaara at
see.
8. I had him at 4. We
Yeah.
talked about it in the
I
beginning.
had to put some other above. Like
Yeah,
I love Gaara, but I'm also like other
Ga-
characters impacted me differently.
had Gaara, and I'm gonna probably use this for the bonus question. I feel like had Gaara gotten more development with his abilities and character, he probably would have been my number one. He was my
Mm,
number one for the longest, but after he died and he was brought back, we don't really see that man at all.
That's
until
when he started minding his business. He was
yeah,
like, God
yeah.
gave me another chance.
We don't
Thank you,
see that.
Toby
We
Rob.
don't see that man at all again until
No.
like 5 Kage Summit. And that's really unfortunate because I mean, from the tuning exam through him getting killed, I mean, he was in like every arc,
Yes, every
mini
episode, he
arc.
was the key player.
Yeah, between him in the tuning exam, fighting Naruto, coming back and saving Lee, and then he is the arc that starts Shippuden with him and
Yeah.
Data. And I mean, like I said, they built up two emotions. Like you hated Gaara when you were little,
Yes.
like you hated that man so much, and then the flip up, and it was just great. And I felt like he always, even to this day, in any anime, I feel like he's had one of like the dopest abilities for sure.
Yeah. And I feel like like one of the best character developments. Like he really
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
saw his mistakes and he was
But
like, I'm gonna
he
be a
was the only
different
one
man.
that actually like
Cause
saw the
friendship.
mistakes, addressed it,
Yes.
and like stuck to it.
And apologize to everybody. I was
Yeah.
like, that's
All
our
the other
king right
characters, like,
there. I love
they would
him.
say they figured it out or knew what they did, and then they just go back to their old ways. And yeah, yeah, it's rough. All right. I'm real interested to see your top three because I feel like I know two of them, but I have no idea what one of them is going to be. But go ahead.
Number 3, I
Yeah,
have
let me hear this. Oh, holy shit! My screen just went black. Okay, hold on. All right, hold on. I'm good. I think my computer went to sleep. All right, I'm good. I'm good.
for number 3,
I need to hear this.
the most underrated king in all of Naruto.
Oh, I totally forgot that was your dude.
Naruto.
I totally forgot.
Because
Yeah.
he really, it's like he saw the best in every single character.
Yeah.
Everybody. Like,
Were you one
I
of
just
those
feel
that
like,
like hated Shikamaru in the beginning before the
oh
tuning exam?
no, I loved him immediately. He
He's
was
so great.
hilarious.
I mean, he never bothered me, but I've seen like
When
people that are
his
like,
ass was faking, like he was under a genjutsu, they were like, Shikamaru,
yeah,
he
yeah,
can't
like
even put under
Shikamaru.
one. He was like,
Yeah,
stop.
yeah, yeah.
He's so funny. He went
He
through
is.
a
He is.
lot of trauma
I mean, the fact that
as
man,
well.
again, how much of it was him just like bitching, and how much was he serious about like, oh, I don't know why I'm a ninja. This is like such a
Yes.
drag, etc.
Yeah.
Did he ever really
He,
think that? I mean, the man went from that to
he's the smartest person in Naruto, and no one can change my mind.
the right hand man of the Hokage.
Exactly.
I mean, to go from a kid that, again, I don't know if he was serious or that was just his character to just call everything shitty. Um, but I
I
mean,
feel
yeah,
like,
he had some wild character growth. I'm trying
yeah.
to think, was there anybody that really matched? I would have loved to seen like a him versus Madara or him versus Kabuto on a mental, not on a power state because Shikamaru can't. There's nothing
Yeah,
equal.
his is more,
His is
he's
more
more of like a,
mental. Like he's calling
yeah,
the
smart.
shots, and yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know if he. I would love to have seen him and Kabuto go like tit for tat. Shit, him and Itachi, there's go tit for tat. But I
They
don't
wouldn't
know.
even fight. They would sit down
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and they
And
would
there's
be chilling.
never, and it's hard to like compare to Itachi because
He's very
he was never
OP.
seriously going to be
Yeah,
if him and Shikamaru
evil.
because he came across others. But every time he came across like one of the original nine, he was always like helping them out or not really trying to kill them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he was just, it's because that wasn't his true
yeah, yeah.
intent. So it's like, it's hard to say.
There's no situation where Itachi would have like pushed Shikamaru to
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he's definitely, I mean, in conversation for top mental capacity
Mhm.
for sure. Between him, his dad, Kabuto, Itachi,
Ino's dad. What?
Ino's dad. True, 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 true.
I mean,
Yeah, they were in there for sure. I mean,
yeah.
it definitely. I mean, we're talking about past generations. After everybody kind of passed away and died, I don't know anybody
Yeah.
um with like the brains he has. Again, I don't know what's
Yeah.
happened forward to, but yeah, Shikamaru is yeah, he's that dude. I
Yeah.
agree with that statement.
And him and Tamari, they're like
Yeah,
off the bat. You were like, oh, they gonna be
yeah,
together.
for
They
sure,
like
100%.
each other.
So what did you
You like,
think of
oh,
what did you think of Shikadai then in the original like 50 episodes of
I thought he was cute. He
yeah.
was like an interesting
Because him and
character.
the main character, him and Boruto are running
Yeah.
around like this the entire
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. I love that it was like a parallel,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Watching the original Naruto, I was definitely like, oh, I love these kids, you know.
Yeah.
And then watching some of Boruto, I feel like I definitely liked their Team 7 that they made
Yeah.
and Shikadai and some of the other kids. I really love Chocho.
I can't
And
stand
I just feel like some of them, I was just not as invested as I was in their parents. And that sounds
yeah,
bad, but
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just like,
But
The
then again, it's
parents
like, is
were a little more
that because the
interesting.
kids are written badly, or is it because the parents were just that good that it's hard for us to like?
To compare.
Yeah,
I feel like because we know those are their parents,
yeah,
and we know that they're kind of just like a 50-50 of them. Like
yeah, yeah.
Shikadai looks just like Shikamaru, but also
That's it.
Tamari.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah. True, true, true.
we know it's a 50-50 of them. I'm like, they the remake. And they're
Yeah,
cute.
for sure.
They're
I agree.
cute.
All right,
For
Shikamaru
sure.
at 3. I think I already know your top 2. I just don't know who you have number 1. I have
You don't know.
I feel like I probably do, but we'll see. I have Obito at 3.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
one of my, I mean, a lot of people that already watch like my reactions. My favorite like anime ability is always like teleporting or pocket dimension or slipping through
Yeah,
things. So
yeah.
like
I knew you were gonna say that because I was thinking that too.
Mirio is my favorite in My Hero
The
Academia.
permeation.
Yeah. Nove is
Such
one
an
of my favorites.
interesting
Yeah.
ability.
Yeah, Nove is one of my favorites in Hunter x Hunter. Anything where you slip through a dimension or like you can just like phase things through is always been my favorite. And mine is like you said with Kakashi with the constant
Mhm.
like killing Rin, flashbacks and flashbacks and
Yeah.
flashbacks. Mine is the constant like Rin flashbacks. I mean, Obito was just really like that dude.
Yeah.
And
He
seeing
was
him
really
go
thrown
from
to it.
yeah, and seeing him go from like
Toby.
Toby, yes. I mean, I don't think anybody doesn't remember this. Like when he voice switches up on them, I think this is when he's basically going like 1v11 versus him and
Hmm.
Naruto, Kiba, Kakashi, Hinata. He's going against, this is while Sasuke's fighting Itachi
Yeah.
and he's trying to keep them away. He's going 1v11 and, he's giggling and shit. And then he switches to that like fake Madara voice. That's just
Yeah.
the best moments for sure. And then seeing the flashback of him slaughtering the Hidden Mist group as a kid.
Yeah.
Um, seeing him going toe to toe with Minato when he was only like 12,
Yeah.
when we didn't know they were going against each other at the time.
Yeah.
Um, I wish, I mean, he had to die because, side note, he was killing a lot of people that didn't need to
There
die.
was like
Yeah.
mentally, I feel like he would not have come out of it very well. Like Sasuke was
Yeah.
very mentally damaged from what he did.
Yeah.
Now Obito, like he,
I just wonder because
I just don't think
yeah,
he would
again,
have done
mentally where
well.
he would have gone, but it's one of those
Yeah.
things where like I don't think it would have been a problem in society because
They just accept everything. Yeah.
everybody accepts Orochimaru's ass.
I was just
Like
about to say, I'm like
nothing
Orochimaru. They're like, oh
different.
my god, come over for
Yeah,
tea.
Kabuto's like a daycare sitter. He like has his own daycare for orphans and shit like that. So I think he would have like been
Orochimaru has a kid.
he would have been accepted
Nobody,
into the world.
people questioned it, but like
Yeah,
they're just like,
and that just like
okay,
it makes for the good parallel. Like Kakashi
yeah,
has one side, Obito has the other. I just would have loved to have seen Obito's potential with both eyes
yeah.
because I mean there's really no counter to him if he has both eyes. I feel like the only reason he ever gets slowed down and stopped is because Kakashi happens to have the opposite and they can get in there
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. And I mean,
Yeah.
arguably one of the best fights is with Obito and Kakashi. I mean,
Yeah.
up there.
And
I
Kakashi's
just
the only one that really got through to him, I feel like.
yeah, he did. He
You
did.
know?
And then just seeing like when Minato realized who it was in the middle of the war arc that it was Obito that they were like fighting against. It was pretty great. I would have loved to have seen him with a Susanoo and like what his could do. I guess we saw a little bit of that with Kakashi when he got
True.
magically both eyes. But yeah, Obito was that dude for sure. The abilities and the ruthlessness. He did get like talked down, like
Yeah.
most people did. But yeah, I mean, he was that dude for a little bit.
He was one of those characters I feel like for the longest time, you just didn't know that he was a badass. Like
Yeah,
it was Toby. I
yeah.
don't know if you watched the Naruto fan flashes growing up,
No,
but
I
like,
didn't.
oh my god, you should do a react to them. They're
True.
they're so funny.
Yeah.
And it's just like Toby was just always a joke. Like, okay,
Yeah, he
when
was.
Data and Sasori were paired together, I was like, okay, I feel like Data really gets on my nerves when he's with
Yeah.
Sasori. But when he's with Toby, Data is just so much more funny because of how
Yeah.
irritated he
Yeah,
is.
because he's always
It's like,
pissed
oh, the
off
tables
and
have turned.
yeah,
Like, this is
he's
how it
always
feels to
pissed
be
off and
annoying.
shit. And, yeah.
Yeah.
great.
And Toby
I
really just plays it off like he doesn't
Yeah,
have this
he
whole
does. And like I don't
plan.
even know the mental capacity you have as Obito to do that like on a regular basis to like just
Yeah.
constantly be fucking around like that and then also leading
Yeah.
time and
Yeah.
yeah, it just would have been. I would have loved to have seen. I mean, I don't know how much more we could have seen. I mean, we saw Obito pretty much do everything he possibly could power wise. I wish we would have
Hmm.
seen because they showed it to us in the flashback. Him just like wielding wood style like it's nothing as a kid,
Oh yeah.
and then he never uses it at all ever again. Um,
I feel
in
like
the
for
entire
plot
story.
reasons they were
Yeah, that's
like
yeah. I wish. I mean, I feel like
not
it made for
pertinent to the story.
one of the greatest little fights was that flashback of him
Yeah.
as a kid going off. But I would
Hmm.
have rather for him not to ever use it again, I would have rather him like never have used it.
Yeah. Or have
But
there a reason be why he
yeah,
doesn't
yeah, yeah.
use
Why
it.
can't he use it? Like what it
Yeah.
because we already know he can spam that eye constantly,
Yeah.
the Hashirama side, and him not have any drawbacks from it. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's just another discussion. Like we get into abilities, and I'll just be here for.
True. True.
All right, who do you have in number 2? Because then I'll probably know who number 1 is.
The most controversial number 2.
Okay, then I was about to say as soon as you said it, I was gonna say this
Yeah.
is yeah.
Feud. Sakura.
Sakura at number
I
2.
love Sakura. It was one of those things. I'm like growing up when you're the same age watching
Yeah, yeah,
characters that are
yeah,
your same age. Like
yeah,
Naruto was obnoxious as hell.
yeah,
Like Sasuke was like a dick, but like the rest of the kids were like, "Oh, he's cool."
yeah,
And like the girls were so annoying, but girls talk to each other like that.
yeah,
Like that's how they were when they were kids. That's realistic for their age group.
yeah,
And then as they got older, it was like you could just see them grow. And no matter
yeah,
what, like Team 7 for me is always top. Like, yeah, I put Shikamaru above Sasuke, but
yeah.
I just really love Shikamaru.
What do
But
you?
I love Team 7 very even.
So
Like, they're like my kids.
her being in your top 2, I feel like it's known she probably gets shit on the most out of like any Naruto character in the Naruto fandom. Would you agree with
Out of
that?
any anime, a lot of people who haven't
Yeah,
even watched all of Naruto shit on her, and
yeah.
I'm like, I can't
So
take
then, what
anyone's
is
opinion
your
seriously if they don't watch all of Naruto.
kind of response slash counter to
It's
that?
the
Do you
way that
agree with anything that like she
no,
gets shit on at
no,
all, or no? Okay,
no,
yeah,
because Kishimoto wrote her that
yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
She was
it's one of those
written.
things where I'm like, he doesn't write female characters very
Yeah,
well, in my opinion.
yeah. Mm,
So I'm like, she is one of the better female characters. He just did not develop really
no,
any of the girls,
no,
you
he didn't.
know? And we did talk about like how there were cool female characters.
Yeah, he
He
just
didn't really
chose not
develop them.
to. Yeah, he chose not to include, and like he gave them some of like the
Yeah.
best abilities too, and then
Yeah.
didn't keep it going. So
Yeah. And it's not a bad thing, but I also feel like I don't know. I just can't dislike anyone from Team 7. Like, as much as
yeah,
Sasuke stresses me out, I can't dislike him. Like, Sakura, for me, I'm like, one, bad bitch, strong
yeah.
bitch, she a cute pink hair bitch.
I will say when
And,
they introduced her in Shippuden, I
yeah,
was like, oh shit, we're gonna get some like
yes.
Sakura
And
stuff
she is
here,
who
and
she is
then
because of
yeah,
Tsunade,
yeah, I was like, oh shit, like we're gonna get, and we did get young Tsunade.
Yeah.
Like,
But
when we
she's
got to
just
the end,
not,
we just didn't
yeah, it's
see.
more
I just
Naruto
wish
and
we would have got,
Sasuke. It's not
yeah.
really about her.
Like we got introduced
Yeah.
to her and saw her like she got the strength from Tsunade and
Yeah.
got all this stuff, and then we got nothing of her like abilities
Yeah.
until at the war arc, and all of a sudden she's got the 100 healings going, and she's like
Yeah.
doing all this, which was
There's
great.
just
I just
so
would have
much I
liked,
feel like they wanted to focus on.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's like, if Kishimoto wanted to focus more on Naruto and Sasuke, it's like those are his priorities, in my opinion. But he developed Sakura out of the entire girls,
yeah.
in my opinion. He really developed her more than anyone. She
I
had a
mean, yeah. As far as
relationship
female, I mean,
in every episode. Relationship
Hinata,
like with the characters. She was
yeah,
always
Hinata
there.
got
Every
her.
she
Hinata
had
got hers, I guess.
small arc,
But I feel
like
like
small
hers was
sections, but she
only
wasn't always there.
Hinata only got hers because of the Naruto connection.
Yes,
Because
because of the ending.
if there's no Naruto connection, she would have been like every other female character.
She would have
Just
been like 10,
because I mean,
you know?
Tamari had so much potential that we never got.
Yeah, and Tamari was such a badass. I
She
love her,
was
but
one of my
they just
favorite
didn't
female
really delve into her
characters,
either.
which I feel like was a huge miss. Was what they did with Anko's ass.
Oh, I knew you were gonna say
I
her.
hate what they did to her
I
so
hate that.
much
Yeah,
because like
like,
she got introduced
how does
like
that make sense? Her
Orochimaru.
outcome
Orochimaru wanted her as a vessel.
so badly.
She had a curse mark. She
Yeah.
had all these things. I was like, oh, are we
Just
ever gonna
that
get a
slapping little
flash?
Sasuke around, like,
Yeah, I was like, are we gonna get a flashback? Like, what does she know? She summons snakes. Just like I was like, oh shit. And then
yeah, nothing.
we flash forward, and Kabuto's using her as like a fucking
Oh, a
curse
dummy.
mark vessel dummy
Yeah.
for his thing. Then, like, why did he have to do that? I have no idea. I don't know. I need to look into that. But yeah, she was so wasted. And then you saw what they did to her in Boruto.
Yeah, and it's like,
Yeah,
but why? Why did they feel the need to do
I
that?
don't know.
It
Yeah, I
doesn't
feel
make
like
sense with the plot. It doesn't
yeah,
make sense with her character. Like
yeah,
they just did it, I think, to
yeah.
be
With
funny.
Yeah, Anko should have. There was a lot of potential to be had in Anko. At least we saw Tamari kind of, get flashes of using her
Yeah.
powers.
I feel like 'cause
Anko,
she was going to be one of the main pairings. So also she's like Gaara's sister, so
yeah, I feel like of the
she's
four
got the
of the
connection.
female characters that, I mean, the Mizukage, she got a little bit of shine. I feel like she had some of the
But
dopest
the way they did
abilities.
her in Boruto also,
Yeah, yeah, you see what they did to her as in Boruto too. I feel
yeah,
like she has one of the dopest abilities in the entire show with her
yeah,
lava and her acid mist stuff.
yes,
And they were actually
yeah.
using her a little bit. I mean, again, we didn't really get to see it. She might solo Sasuke 1v1 there for a little bit. Um, but yeah, the female character, that's just what the Naruto story is. So I
So
don't know if
it's
they're trying to
hard to
make up.
say.
That's why I don't know if they're trying to make up for it with like the Sarada stuff in Boruto, like
I
elevating
feel
her.
like,
But even she's not been in it as much as she started in it, and then
yeah.
I don't know.
But in Boruto, they also showed a lot more of Sakura and Sasuke
Yeah, yeah,
fighting together,
yeah,
and I just feel like this is another topic. But if Kishi was gonna have pairings,
yeah,
he should have developed them the way that he developed Tamari and like Shikamaru as an
yeah,
example. Like he
yeah,
should have just and like we already knew that Neji and Tenten would have been together if
yeah,
Neji hadn't passed.
yeah,
We knew, you know. So I feel like if he really was like, oh no, this was the original plan the whole time, which we know isn't true, he should have developed them
yeah,
in a different way to make it more realistic because
yeah. And that's just
you
the yeah. I mean,
it's
writing
a stressful
yourself.
topic.
I don't know how he wrote the story. If it was from like the top down, like he. Well, no, because I mean, we knew he kind
He
of
was
wrote
writing
himself
it as
into
it
that.
went.
Yeah, he wrote himself into
Yeah,
that like Madara corner, and then had to like get
yeah,
himself out of it. Um, but I just don't think like the female pairings or anything was really kind of on that man's mind, like as the story
no.
went.
I
When it kind
think
of
once
came
it
up to
came
that,
down to it, he was like, "We gotta end this."
yeah, it's got yeah. So I got enough characters. Yeah, Sakura too. Yeah, I know. So, I mean, like you said, of any anime, she gets the most. It's just so polar.
She gets
It's
the
just that
most
I
hate,
feel like it's
and
even
she's a
like
stereotype that's in every single
that's what I'm
anime.
saying. I feel
But
like she's
people
not
don't
even
attack those other characters in those animes. They only attack Sakura. And I'm like,
like I've complained about
this is a
Sakura
trope. Like
before.
this
Yeah,
girl is an anime girl trope, and
I've
it's an anime guy trope. There are guys
yeah
just like her.
I've complained about Sakura before, but it's just like a running gag now.
Yeah,
See it on Twitter or people like just bashing the shit out of her. Even you don't
yeah,
even have to
baby.
watch it or really know. Like she just gets shit on just to get shit on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nobody watches it, and it's
yeah, no,
one
no,
of
no,
those
no.
things too. They set up certain scenes
Yeah,
where it's like when you're watching it,
yeah,
you're like, why?
yeah. It's just
Why
yeah.
did
That's
he
another.
draw that?
Yeah, that's just
Because now it
another.
just makes her look like a damn fool.
Yeah,
But she was recognized by a lot of strong characters
yeah. She
when
was.
they
I mean,
didn't do that for other female
she had a
characters, you
major
know?
point to play and all that stuff for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
At number two, I have Itachi at number two.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Okay.
there's
So I'm
not really.
really interested to see your number one because I don't think Sasuke's in your list at all, huh?
It's not so far. Itachi at number two, just for like everything we've already harped on Itachi.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody had a
Such a
better
powerful.
storyline. And I really don't know if anybody really saw that storyline coming at all. If somebody did, maybe you're better than me. I mean,
I would say no because I
yeah,
remember when the manga was coming out and it had to have been like fifth grade. I remember the the chapter that did come out where the battle happened and it's just like you kind of find out everything.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was like in 5th grade, and my friend who always loved Itachi, like she right off the bat was like, "I love that man.
yeah.
He's a
I just
king.
feel
He
like for
does no
everything,
wrong." And
again,
then
he
when
was
they did
like
the
another one of
explanation, she was
those.
like, "I said he did no wrong."
He was like another one
And
of
I was
those
like, "Oh my
Gaara
god."
characters that like you
Yeah.
hate so
I feel
much.
like I didn't
The thing
hate
is,
him
like,
because he smacked Sasuke around the way he needed to be smacked
yeah, and he
around.
never got,
You
but
know?
like Gaara got like quick redemption.
Yes.
Itachi was like the
Yes.
drive. The whole reason we were chasing after Sasuke and Sasuke went and did this was because of this man Itachi. And then when you got everything after the fact of what he did, what he had to do, and honestly, the Itachi flashbacks, like when we got into Shippuden, were pretty great. Flashbacking into him as a kid and
Yeah.
seeing him and Shisui walk around and Itachi getting in the Ambu and
I feel
coming
like
across.
Shisui was another character that didn't.
Don't even get me started on that for sure. He's an honorable mention in my top 10 that if we had gotten
Yeah.
more, for sure. Again, I feel like he was another one of those. Shisui was another Kimimaru, another Itachi
Yeah.
that was going to be like another Minato. He was going to be
Yeah.
way too OP
Yeah. So
to
they
be
had to.
kept. Like, could you imagine if Minato was alive while the Akatsuki were running around? Like, it
Oh,
would have just
hell
been,
no.
yeah, exactly.
Mm-mm. You
And
know
then
what?
still,
Jiraiya
yeah,
might not have died.
yeah. And then even say Itachi doesn't murder his family or whatever, and he stays in the Ambu. Maybe he becomes next Hokage. Who knows? But like, if Minato and Itachi and Shisui are alive while all this like Obito stuff in the background's going on,
Things
I
could
don't
have been
think
so different.
things would have got smacked around and like squashed so fast that it just.
Yeah.
So I feel like Shisui was way
Yeah.
too OP to be kept alive. Same thing with
Well, they
Itachi.
had to give Itachi. Blah, blah,
Yeah,
why
yeah,
did I
they
say it
had to
like
give
that?
Itachi
Itachi
that.
his own trauma.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah. They
had
had
to
to give.
hurt him somehow. You
Yeah,
know.
they had to give him that. Like none of that Donzo stuff goes on if probably
Yeah.
Minato's alive. There's just a lot going on, and but I mean, I don't know what everybody. I mean, I don't know what needs to be really said about Itachi. Like we know the story, everything he did, and even after he died, brought back, saving the war, all this, and
Yeah.
it was pretty much great. It was great.
It was good.
That's self-explanatory. Well, let's hear this number one on the top 10 list. Um,
Naruto.
yeah, of course, Naruto.
Naruto is my number one.
Yeah,
I love him so,
yeah.
like, he is just, I feel like he really started like the whole that like shonen boy type, to where it's like, yeah, he's goofy, but no matter what, he
That
wants
like,
to see the best in
yeah,
everyone and everything. No matter who hurts him,
yeah,
he's like, but I know you could be better. I know
yeah,
you above this.
yeah.
You know,
He
like
does.
he
He's
really started that
definitely
boy type to
after
me,
that
in my
like
opinion.
early like Kid Goku from like way back early 90s whatever. Naruto is definitely, I mean, most of the characters today in other animes like
I feel like are
piggyback off of
inspired by
that. Yeah,
Naruto.
yeah,
His
for sure.
personality type,
Yeah,
like the goofy,
they each have
super
their different
loving.
backstory. Yeah, all
Yeah,
the anime boys nowadays they have their own backstories, but it's always like comes back to like seeing the good in other
yeah,
people, trying to do it without
yeah,
killing and all that kind
yeah.
of stuff for sure. I mean, yeah, I
And he
mean,
always would kick people's ass, but
yeah,
first try to talk them out of it. And I feel like, yes, we want to see him beat the shit out of the bad guys,
yeah,
but the fact that he's like, but let's see if you can get some redemption real quick
yeah.
before I kick your ass.
I mean,
That
yeah,
part to me, I'm like, he would do it to every time. He cared about every filler character, every every main random movie character that they would throw in. Like he loved them as if he
yeah.
knew them from when,
He
if they
did.
were from the original. Like he just
What do
had so much
you?
love for anybody. He forgave the entire village
He did.
for
We
what they
already
did to him.
commented on it a little bit. What do you make of him in Boruto?
That ain't my Naruto.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah,
the first
it's another discussion
the
for.
first really arc, because I know that as it goes on, they're doing it from Boruto's perspective, and they're
Yeah,
destroying
yeah.
Naruto's
And that's
character
another
for
thing. Yeah.
Boruto's character development, which is
Unfortunately,
fucked up. But
unfortunately, it is Boruto's story.
yeah,
So
so it
whatever
has to
happens to
be his
Naruto is
narrative.
what. Yeah, what happens to Naruto is what happens to Naruto. So
No, that's where we're gonna stop it, because if they kill Naruto for Boruto's character development,
I feel like at some point he has to
no, no,
die because I think in the first
no.
episode.
No.
I feel like that's the only thing that's really going to take like the Boruto anime or manga to that next level. Because they're
I
going to
feel like
keep.
they wouldn't kill him, but they would like make you think it. Like when they killed Kakashi for a moment, we were all like,
There's got to be some
but
way
they didn't.
to. Here's the thing: like, no threat is ever going to be taken seriously in Boruto until you remove the top two chess pieces off the. You have to get rid of Sasuke, and you have to get rid of Naruto.
But you can't separate Naruto and Kurama.
Maybe they do some cliche shit and Boruto gets Kurama or whatever. Or Kurama goes out there and lives like some of the other Jinchuriki are just by themselves. I don't know. But I feel like you can't take a threat serious in Boruto when you have two literal gods
Yeah,
on
God
the
tier.
field. So even like if Boruto struggles and he's not able to like defeat the big bad guy or whatever,
His dad will.
his dad will, Itachi will, I mean not Itachi, Sasuke will shit. Konohamaru's damn near OP in that as well. So I mean
Yeah,
he's over there
true.
slapping people around. So it's just yeah. That's just
I feel
what
like if they really wanted Boruto to be, I would say, successful from the beginning, because first impressions are everything, they should not have changed how they wrote his character. Because
yeah.
it's like, he cared about every single little insignificant person we're never going to hear about again. But suddenly he doesn't care about his kids. But
He's
also,
yeah.
he wanted to be the Hokage. He didn't want to be a daddy.
Yeah, he wanted to be Hokage. I mean that was the goal of Naruto from beginning to
Yeah.
end, war arc or not war arc, he wanted to be Hokage.
Yeah.
I don't know if he planned I don't know if we ever saw him ever speak or say anything like if I ever have kids, I'm going to be there for them or type thing. I
Yeah.
don't know if we ever even
Yeah.
got that from him.
And
I know
even then, it's like he had Iruka and Jiraiya, so how would he grow up not using their influences on his children?
yeah,
That's where I'm like, Iruka did not pull him,
yeah,
from the dust
he had a lot of
for
people
him to
help
just
him.
treat his kids
Yeah,
like
I
that. I'm
don't.
like,
And again,
it's
I
not
don't know where the
realistic.
story. I don't know what the story is now. I watched like
Me either.
up to like the mid hundreds. I know Naruto was like consciously making an effort to like be home more and kind of
Yeah.
do all, but like have they reverted back to whatever? I'm not
I
sure.
don't think so, because I know the time travel little arc, it's more about Boruto seeing Naruto, how he grew up and like how he is, and like really seeing it from his side, and I think like understanding who his dad is like more to the core. Like that's what I was seeing from like small scenes,
Hmm.
but it's not something that I could just like hop in and just watch that time travel arc, because I'm like,
Yeah.
I think I would rather know kind of like the
Yeah, I'm
whole
gonna have
thing
to.
leading
I
up to
mean,
it.
I'm sure at some point I'll dive back into it, but it's just not on the radar at the
Yeah.
moment.
It's not
Yeah, yeah.
it's not
All
right.
right. Well, at my
Let's hear
number
it.
one, so I don't have. I just looked at. I don't have any female characters in my top 10. Tsunade would
Yeah, I
definitely be an
noticed that.
honorable mention for sure. I don't have Sasuke and I don't have Naruto in my top 10. I have Nagato as my number one. Nagato slash Pain slash however you want to call that man. That is my. It was a real battle between him and Itachi, but I feel like Itachi's kind of like just a cliche, like, oh, that's my favorite. I didn't really
Yeah.
get to it. Um, Everything that man went through from beginning to end was
Hmm.
just straight up tragedy and
You
pain.
think it was worse than what Naruto went through?
Naruto's at least had the happy ending, you know? Nagato died with, I mean, pretty much Nagato died without even getting to see if what he wanted came. He just put his faith out there.
Yeah.
Pretty much, I mean, I know you have to do it for story purposes, but imagine the impact it would have been if Nagato didn't bring everybody back. If Kakashi had really died, and
Yeah.
that would have been. But again, that Naruto was never on that like that death tone.
It was never like, let's kill everybody. It was
Yeah, it was.
never on an Attack on Titan level. It was
Yeah,
more just
yeah,
like,
yeah, and
key people have to die, but
Yeah,
not
it depends
everybody.
what your yeah, it depends what your preferences are. If you like the Attack on Titan stuff. Personally, me, I would have liked to. I mean, you didn't have to keep the entire village dead, but I'm trying to think who all even. I know Kakashi died, and we had
Choji and Shikamaru's
Choji's
parents all
dad. Yeah,
died.
their
That
parents.
was sad. And
Yeah,
they didn't get brought back. I was like,
yeah. They didn't get brought back. What's Tsunade's What's her right hand woman's name?
oh, You know when you think of something and it doesn't come to your head
Yeah.
immediately?
What's her name?
It's just as a kids we called her Piggy Girl because she had the
She
pig.
had pig. Lady, I can't remember her name,
I'll
but
get a
yeah,
migraine if I
she
keep
was
thinking about it, so I have to look it up.
she was killed as well. I mean,
Yeah.
Nagato went through a lot. Parents killed in front of him. Best friend killed by him.
Relationship destroyed.
Girl gone. Killed his best friend by his own hands. Parents killed in front of him. Tries to start this. What he thinks. Shizune. That's what it is. Yeah, Shizune.
Yeah.
I mean, and not
Sorry,
even just tragic.
Like,
I mean, and again, I still think the Pain arc was probably the best of the entire Naruto. Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. I just think that because the Akatsuki was so built up.
Yeah.
And like we kept getting introduced to like all these members, then we finally see Pain, and then Pain's the one that kills Jiraiya.
And the members are slowly dying off.
The members are dying off one by one, but like Pain is still going, and it's like then the mystery of like what is he, how is this going, and then he kills Jiraiya, and then just all that going on. And again, one of those that we just really never got to see at full power. We got a glimpse of it there when he was reanimated. But yeah, Pain he really used to be that dude. He was that dude. Yeah. Unfortunately.
And I feel like I would have been really interested in the clan.
And then he gets sealed away for eternity. He didn't get buried Itachi sealed that man away. He's just gonna be by himself, sealed away forever. He didn't get to go like live out wherever with Jiraiya or his parents or Yahiko. He literally got sealed inside that blade, and that's gonna be it.
Well, you never know for Boruto.
Yeah,
because like you said, they just brought Jiraiya back.
They did.
We don't know what they're gonna try to pull out of their pocket. Like, don't you remember that one episode?
Yeah,
we're bringing it back now.
They might. I mean, that man Nagato just got shit on the entire time.
Yeah.
I feel like he was trying to do something which he felt was right, and even at the time, Naruto didn't have an answer for what Nagato was trying to achieve and answer. And yeah, I mean, one of the most OP abilities in the show as well, so it was pretty great.
And he really thought like he was gonna be like Jiraiya's golden boy.
He did.
And Jiraiya thought it too, but it's like, no, you gotta keep going. Gotta keep training these random kids until you find Naruto.
Yeah, I don't even think if I mean that's how the story went, but I think if he doesn't blow up his legs and stuff and is fully able to move and do all this, he probably is Jiraiya's golden boy, even with Naruto still in the picture. Health-wise, I mean that man was again another character that's slowly dying as he's trying to accomplish said goal. But yeah, man, now that I think about it, that man's story was pretty shitty. Now that I sit back and think about it, but it was pretty good. I'm trying to think, did we have any parallels? You had Gaara, I had Gaara. You had Itachi, I had Itachi. I think those were the only two.
Because you had a lot of villains, but a strong mention for me was Orochimaru. Because I love, like, his dynamics.
Yeah.
He's so diverse.
I'm trying
just a whole like hot mess. But it wasn't like he was really bad. He was just troubled.
I mean, he did,
and they showed that he was troubled all the time. You were like, this man needs some therapy.
Yeah, people on your
Jiraiya. Get some genjutsu for him, please.
Yeah, on your list, Jiraiya, Tsunade, Kakashi for sure. I don't know why.
I was gonna say I had a lot of main hitters just because.
I thought you were gonna have a Neji or Rock Lee on there.
I was, but I had to pick.
Yeah, that's true.
I had to pick.
Yeah, I had
Minato. I think I chose Gaara over one of them. So I was like, Gaara's not even on there. And I had Kurama on the list too, but I feel like Kurama and Naruto go hand in hand because he had a very strong character development.
I feel like it was. Yeah, it's hard to really. And then again, a lot of those early characters, like we said, like the Nejis and the Rock Lees, they weren't included for 500 episodes, and then they just plopped on. I mean, after those first 200, like you really thought. I mean, they made Rock Lee stronger than Sasuke and Naruto in the beginning.
Yes.
Neji too.
The fight when he took off the weights, I was like,
Yes, when he drops the weight,
oh
takes the
my
armband off,
god.
and every episode he's hitting the flipping hidden lotus. Like every episode, he's just hitting it, and then
Yes.
Shippuden comes around, and we really don't get. I think we get more out of flipping Guy Sensei than we do Rock Lee and Shippuden.
But I feel like it's because Kakashi was very important and Kai Sensei was like his best friend.
Yeah. So they kept
You
it in there.
know? It's kind of hard to not have him in there.
Yeah,
Because it's like, you can't have Kakashi without Kai
yeah,
Sensei.
yeah. I'm trying to think of any honorable mentions that I didn't have. None of us had Minato on our list, which I was surprised.
I love him.
Hmm.
I mean, you know, I don't know why they made Naruto look like a dad that wears Skechers.
Yeah.
And Minato's a dad who wears Nikes.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, that was again. It's unfortunate that he had to get written off, but again, like we
They
said,
literally went to Naruto and were like, all right.
yeah, he never. I don't. Did we ever? I think we saw in some of the flashbacks he had long hair.
And some of the fillers, like that one
Yeah,
filler,
yeah.
yeah, he has longer hair.
I'm trying to think if we.
I watched every single episode, so I'm like, I remember that filler.
Yeah,
That was a
I'm
good
trying
one.
to think if we forgot any. We none of us had Hinata.
It's one of those things where I'm like,
Rock.
she is not a bad character, but there are certain things that I don't like how she was written.
Yeah,
Because I love her power play. You know, she has. And that's another thing where I'm like, the whole studio thought that Kishimoto was going to have Naruto and Sakura together.
yeah,
But I think what Kishimoto really wanted was an OP pairing. So not only are like decided to have Sakura's strength, but the Sharingan,
yeah,
and then Boruto has a completely new thing because of
yeah.
Naruto, and he knocked his
Whatever.
mix.
Yeah, whatever.
You
He's been
know,
touched by
yeah,
gods, and he's got some
yeah.
funky
And
shit.
then if they have a kid, it's
Yeah.
over.
Mm.
Nobody's gonna be stronger than their kid.
They're 100%.
Nobody.
They're 100. I mean, who knows if the story like goes down there? But yeah, that's gonna
Yeah.
be, yeah, for sure.
That's another thing where I'm like, I feel like she had such
Uh,
power to her, but he just didn't include her until
I mean,
very
He
end.
did that with a lot. I mean, if you weren't part of
Yeah.
the main,
If you weren't Team 7, he didn't care.
if you weren't part of
Not that he
the,
didn't care. That sounds really bad.
I'm trying to think as the story went. If you weren't in the Akatsuki, you weren't Naruto or Sasuke, and you weren't Kakashi, your story pretty much was not written in Shippuden at all. It was Akatsuki, the main two, and Kakashi. Those are the only ones that really got screen time, like as the story went.
Yeah.
As we
The
went through, we
entire
got
flashback.
we
arc.
got introduced to Killer Bee, and we got some stuff on him, and we got introduced to Onoki and others. But like,
Yeah, the
everybody
different
pre
villages.
Shippuden kind of go. So then that's my bonus question: If
That scared me in the background. He was like,
if you could take one character that got written off to the side and expand their story, who would it have been? Could be anybody on your top 10. Could be anybody we didn't mention. Somebody that you would have gotten to like to see their training, see their story go, develop a new power, or just more story in general.
honestly, I would have loved to know more about the Uzumaki clan. Like Kushina's entire clan was murdered.
Yeah.
Because of their chakra control.
Yeah.
And then Minato, we don't know anything.
We don't.
Nothing. And it's like Naruto took after his characteristics, and it's like Naruto doesn't even look like an Uzumaki. And Nagato was an Uzumaki. Karin is an Uzumaki.
He was.
We don't even know about their backgrounds either. Like, are they somehow related to Kushina?
I mean,
because
how many like second cousins removed? But they're supposed to be. I mean, they're from the same clan. I guess it's the same
how
way
direct could they be? Because they don't know. If they were survivors, they may not know their parents.
It's like how close are Itachi and like Obito and Sasuke related? It's like, I mean, they share the same name, but are they I don't know how they connect across. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the two characters for me that I choose were Shisui that we talked about.
Okay, yeah.
But I mean, again, I don't know how you can develop him and have him live and him not just erase.
You can't develop Itachi without killing him.
Yeah,
that was his purpose as a character.
Without killing him.
Yeah.
And then Shisui was so OP as like a preteen, like as Itachi was, that like I don't know how you keep him in the story and
have things not
and have things not just the same way with we said with Minato. How does the Akatsuki do what they're doing if
without him.
Minato's alive?
Yeah.
And then another thing I really wish we would have gotten is Gaara. We got to see Killer B in his his QB mode, and we got to see Naruto with his like perfect control and being able to use the chakra, and he's got the cloak on. I would have loved to seen Gaara.
Like, what was his next evolution?
What was the next evolution? Yeah. Because it was either Gaara doing his thing with the sand or the Shikaku totally like taking over his shit.
Yeah.
But we never got to see that.
Didn't they take him out?
They took him out, and then I don't know if it got reintroduced or what it was, but I forget what they ended up. That's another thing I had to look up at the beginning of Boruto. Because they let the Jinchuriki kind of decide if they wanted to live off, and I can't remember.
Choose to stay with.
Yeah, I can't remember if he chose to stay with Gaara or if he chose to go out.
He did, because they grew attached to each other.
Yeah. But we got to see like all the other Jinchuriki as they were getting captured. Hit their like Jinchuriki mode and their like 3-tail, 2-tail mode, and we never got to see Gaara really fucking like get on it. And maybe that's because Gaara was one of my favorite characters. I would have liked to seen that develop in his own kind of like Shukaku chakra cloak and whatever OP sand.
He never becomes a Jinchuriki again.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. But they get along. But
because we see them communicate.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I was like, when the Shukaku's getting like sucked in with all the other ones in the middle of the war arc, we see like him and Gaara have that like oh no, I'm losing him moment type thing. But yeah, I would have loved to have seen the same way we saw like Killer B and Naruto like form that chakra bond with theirs is what I would have loved to see Gaara do, but.
Or one of the other Jinchurikis, let me see.
Who was
the one the little dude.
The Mizukage one? Who was hitting people with fucking clamshells and coral, or
oh my god, let me see. Once I read his name, I'll know.
The lava one? I don't remember his name. Bubble Boy?
Let me see. He was a Kage for a little bit.
Oh yeah, the Mizukage kid.
Yakura, I think.
Yeah. Yakura?
Yes. It's like they made him seem like he was like some important badass character, and then he just got killed off.
I mean that was unfortunate that they did that with a lot of Jinchuriki because we knew how like OP they were.
Yeah, but we don't know about them.
All we got to see of Jinchuriki was pretty much their 10 minutes of fame as the Akatsuki were capturing them. Happened with Bubble Boy, happened with the lava guy that only took oh god, what was his name?
Well, Bubble Boy had more of an arc. He had like a whole arc. I didn't know he was gonna be a Jinchuriki until they like did the thing, and I was like
side story. And then again, Pain, Nagato puts him in the ground in like 30 seconds, and it's just yeah. And then because we even saw that Killer B had a connection with the Two Tails chick. He talked about like how he knew her and the relationship they had, but we never got really anything out of her.
Yeah, I feel like they had interesting other Jinchurikis. It's not that they weren't important to the stories, but just like how they didn't delve too much deeper into the other villages, they didn't delve too much deeper into their Jinchurikis because it's like we knew who was important. We knew who was going to be impactful in Naruto. The others did not have that role intended.
It was cool to see though, like you said with the Mizukage kid, because he was the one that like, I think he was the one that banished. Oh God, why can't I think of Haku's dude? Zabuza. When Itachi gets his first partner that's not Zabuza, the other one that's wielding his sword, they go back there, and this is when Itachi. This is an Itachi.
Oh, his name means shark.
Yeah.
Why can't we think of it?
Kisame.
I was gonna say Kami-sama, and I was like, no, that's just in my head.
Kisame can't fuck with him.
He was so funny.
Kisame can't fuck with the Mizukage. He's got like he has perfect Jinchuriki control too. He can switch in and out of it.
Yeah. They never explain why they have spiky teeth.
No, and he was OPAF, and we just didn't really get much of it.
I feel like that was another character where it was like they held themselves back. You know, like
Yeah.
Orochimaru held himself back. Oh my
Oh
god,
yeah,
they're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
die.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, that went 10 times longer than I thought. Let's see, took 15. So we went for about an hour and 20 minutes. I think we started
How are
when
you
we had
gonna
like,
trim
oh, I'm putting the whole thing.
that?
I'll trim off.
Well, I think it is important.
I'll trim off the beginning and the trim off when you had to go handle your business. But I
Oh
mean, that was
yeah,
good.
yeah.
I was hoping that we would get like a. I was like, man, I wonder if we're gonna make it to an hour. But I mean,
Me
that's
too,
pretty
because I
good.
was thinking about it. I wrote my notes, and they
Hmm.
were small notes. So I
Yeah.
was like, is this gonna be a long enough topic? Literally, for Kakashi, I was like, because he's daddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then, like, Killer Bee, he's iconic. I put, like, little notes, because I'm like, I can remember my own thoughts on
Yeah.
it, but it's easier
Yeah.
to see my little tiny notes and build off of that.
Yeah.
I feel
That
like
was
with
good.
Naruto, there's so
That's what I'm
much to
saying.
talk
Like, you don't
about.
even really need to like. You don't need much like nudging and pushing with Naruto. Just like say a couple characters, and you can just go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like as much as people hate fillers, a
Yeah.
lot of fillers to me are so important because the
Yeah.
characters, like we said, that didn't get the screen time, they
Yeah.
did
That's
put
the
them
only
in the
time they got
fillers.
screen time,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
like
But a lot of
Hinata
people
does
that
have that
watch.
one little filler arc,
Yeah.
just for a little bit. That was good.
A lot of people that watched that are watching Naruto for the first time, I mean, they're just skipping through the fillers, which I would
I
too.
know.
I would
Yeah, because it's not. They're not watching it as it comes out on TV.
if I was starting if someone said, "Hey, start this anime. It's 700 plus episodes long." And you told me like 200 and 300 of it I could skip, that didn't I
Yeah,
would do the same
you
thing.
have.
Yeah, I would skip right over it. But like I said, like we
Well,
said, the Chikara, the power arc was, I mean, that shit was
I love
great.
that part.
That
It
shit was
the way it
great.
was animated
Oh yeah.
was so well. And then as you're watching Shippuden, you can see the style slowly progressing,
Yeah,
which I
yeah.
feel like when they do the flashbacks, you're like, oh my
Yeah.
god, that's right. It did look like that.
Hmm.
Or
Yeah.
like, there's this one where Naruto's literally looking at like baby Naruto, and he's like, was I really that annoying?
Yeah,
Yes, yes,
yeah.
you were.
Yeah,
Oh my
solid stuff.
god.
I
But I
think
still
that was
loved him.
a successful first first little podcast episode. I thought that was good. All right, that'll be good. I appreciate you joining us, getting the discussion in. And yeah, I'll be interested to hear other people's top tens if we left anybody out,
Yes.
ranked
Let's
anybody
keep it
too high.
positive.
Yeah, they will. We
Let's
don't.
keep it
I really don't have
positive.
people that really. I've never had that issue.
I'm used to the stalker hate,
Yeah,
okay?
I've never had that
So like,
issue.
leave my baby girl alone.
I've never had that
Leave Brittany
issue with
alone.
like toxic anime comments. I mean,
Yeah, because
you
that's
get
another
the
thing where people like they're either it's Sakura or Hinata, and I'm
you
like,
get
I
the
really love Sakura, but I don't dislike Hinata like that.
I'll get the
It's just
occasional like
yes,
f bombs or like this video sucks, but it's never been like toxic like that.
yeah,
I've
a
also
lot
never
of
had a female on the channel though, so you know how that goes. So we'll kind of see how
I've
that
been a
goes.
weeb since I popped out the
Yeah,
womb.
so we'll be all
My
right. We'll
dad
be
said,
good.
Pokemon, here you go. Gundam, you ain't ever seen? I was watching Gundam in kindergarten. Like,
Yeah,
I can't
pretty
even
smart.
remember what specific one because it took me the longest time to try to find which saga I watched because
Yeah.
I remember the characters and watching specific episodes, but not
Yeah.
collectively. Like
Mm.
there's this one Gundam character, the one that I watched. She had like long, I think it was pink hair.
Mm.
I want to say, and that's the Gundam that I watched. Like I remember a specific episode where one of the characters, the Mobile Suit Gundam one, it was like mummy themed.
Hmm.
And it's just so vivid in my
Yeah.
memory to where when I was trying to find which Gundam I watched, it was very difficult because I'm
Yeah.
like, I can see the episode in my head, but to find it just
Yeah. You had to
off the
really
search
like
words is
dive
pretty
into.
hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. Well, Ramona, I appreciate you. Thanks for coming out. Hopefully, we'll try. I'm trying to do one once a month, if not once a week. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
took way too long to get this set up, but I think we got it now. 3 hours
Now that
later.
we know.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see. I mean, you might never see this, so who knows?
Hopefully not. All of our struggles and
Yeah, we'll
trials
see
and
how it goes.
tribulations.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, I mean, we got 3 hours of stuff here. I'll chop it up and we'll
You
go
do
from
the
there.
work.
I will. I will. I appreciate you coming out. Thank you, everybody on the YouTubes.
Yeah.